You'd be surprised how many people wonder why they're disrespected, without realizing they're training others to do it. Not by being weak, not by being too nice, but by ignoring the silent ways we give permission. You don't even have to say a word. People can feel it. It's in the way you hesitate before answering. It's in how you laugh when something wasn't funny just to keep the peace. It's in those moments when your gut twists but you brush it off anyway. This doesn't mean you're broken. It means no one taught you how energy works. Because here's the truth most people never learn. Disrespect doesn't start when someone rolls their eyes. It starts long before that, in subtle signals. The energy you carry teaches people how far they can push. If you're always adjusting yourself to be easier to love, you're also making it easier to be overlooked. Or worse, easy to step on. Now here's where things flip. The moment you stop over-explaining, the moment you stop seeking invisible approval, the moment you stop making your presence small, something strange happens. People start respecting you without knowing why. You didn't raise your voice. You didn't growl or flex or give them the death stare. You just stopped leaking energy. And once that shift happens, everything changes. You'll notice certain people stop joking with you the same way. They don't test your patience as often. They think twice before crossing that line. Not because they're afraid of you, but because they can feel that your self-respect is no longer negotiable. You didn't become cold. You just stopped being emotionally available for nonsense. And the freedom in that is unreal. When people sense you're no longer trying to earn a seat at the table, they either rise to meet you or they quietly leave the room. Either way, no one dares to disrespect a person who respects themselves this much. You can always tell who still needs to be liked by how much they explain themselves. The long texts, the over-apologizing, the way they try to soften every truth with 10 disclaimers. It's not their fault. That behavior comes from years of walking on eggshells, from being taught that love has to be earned. That peace must be maintained at your own expense. But here's the thing, the people who actually respect you, they don't need the song and dance. They don't need the paragraph. They don't need the nervous laughter. They just want the truth. From someone grounded enough to say it without needing applause. Because real respect doesn't come from being the nicest. It comes from being the most centered. You can always tell when someone's centered. They don't rush to fill the silence. They don't chase closure from people who aren't listening. They don't ask for permission to be who they are. They just are. That kind of presence is rare. And that's exactly why it gets respected. Not out of fear, but out of clarity. Most people aren't trying to dominate you, but they are scanning for where the line is. And if they can't feel a line with you, they'll draw it for you. Suddenly you're in conversations where your opinions get brushed aside. You're in friend groups where jokes are always at your expense. You're at work doing extra tasks because you're so chill about it. But it's not chill, it's suppressed. And people can't respect the version of you that's too scared to be real. You want people to treat you better? Don't start with confrontation. Start with calibration. Turn the volume down on your need to be understood. Turn the volume up on your ability to sit with discomfort. And watch how fast the whole dynamic changes. Once you stop filling in the gaps for other people's behavior. Once you stop overcompensating to keep the mood light, you create space. And in that space, people are forced to meet you where you are, or lose access. Trust me, once that shift happens, the people who used to play little power games with you, they start getting real quiet. Why? Because it's hard to manipulate someone who's not auditioning anymore. You're not trying to be the good one, the easygoing one, the unbothered one. You're just you, calm, clear, solid. And that level of groundedness, it makes people take a step back and think twice before testing it. The truth is, you don't need to raise your standards. You just need to stop betraying them. Most disrespect didn't come out of nowhere. It crept in slowly. Every time you said yes when your body screamed no. Every time you laughed it off when it actually hurt. Every time you forgave before they even apologized. Eventually it became normal. But normal isn't the same as right. Somewhere along the line you stopped asking, why do I keep choosing people who make me explain my worth? Why do I feel like I need to perform calmness when my insides are screaming? Why do I act like I don't mind when I clearly do? It's not because you're weak. It's because you've been trained to fear disconnection more than self-abandonment. But there comes a moment, and maybe this is it, where you realize respect starts inside. The moment you decide to stop abandoning yourself, everything else realigns. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to post about it. You just move differently, and the world around you adjusts. People who used to test your boundaries feel it, even if you never say a word, because you no longer need them to understand you. You understand you. That's when the energy changes. That's when you stop being the easy target, the emotional sponge, the person who's always there even when they shouldn't be. You're not hard. You're not guarded. You're just finally unavailable for nonsense. And the ones who truly see you, they won't be offended. They'll be relieved, because they've been waiting to meet this version of you all along. The one who walks with quiet power, the one who respects their own time, their own peace, their own energy, so deeply, so calmly, that the world has no choice but to follow suit. That's the moment everything shifts, and no one who feels that version of you dares to disrespect it. There's a level of self-respect that doesn't even look like confidence anymore. It just looks like stillness. You're not chasing. You're not proving. You're not performing stability. You just are. You speak less, because you don't need to manage how people perceive you anymore. You let others talk. Let them project. Let them assume. Because it costs too much to keep correcting people who want to misunderstand you. And when you're centered like that, people start projecting less anyway. Why? Because there's no emotional opening to sneak into, no exposed insecurity to poke at. You're just present, not defensive. Just not available for games. There's power in that kind of calm. The kind that doesn't flinch when someone tries to stir things up. The kind that doesn't rush to defend every decision, explain every boundary, or soften every truth. People feel it before they even know it. They meet you, and something feels different. Suddenly, they speak more carefully around you. They don't talk to you like you owe them anything. They don't dump their emotional laundry on your lap. Not because you told them not to, but because your presence no longer invites it. Your boundaries aren't walls. They're just silent terms and conditions. Not everyone reads them, but the ones who matter will always act like they did. And the rest? They drift. They lose interest. They stop calling. Not because you've changed, but because they can't recognize you without your old wounds keeping the connection alive. That's okay. Because the kind of respect you're stepping into now, it doesn't just change how others treat you. It changes what you allow, what you attract, what you expect from life itself. You're not doing anything dramatic. You're just no longer walking into every room trying to be lovable. You walk in and let things reveal themselves. If the space is right, you stay. If the energy is off, you move. No speeches, no tension, no guilt. That's the quiet power of someone who finally understood. Respect was never something you asked for. It was something you became. So if you've ever wondered how to be respected without turning cold, how to be unshakable without becoming hard, how to carry peace that doesn't shrink in chaos, start here. By letting your silence speak. By letting your presence do the work your words used to overcompensate for. By honoring your own energy like it's not up for discussion. Because it's not. If this resonates with you, don't just nod and scroll. Comment with the words, "I'm free now." Because that's where the shift begins. See you in the next one. ThriveX, where growth begins. Don't miss out. Hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon to stay inspired. Together, we'll unlock your full potential.